Welcome to the mat. Today we're going to get started with a nice slow yin stretch, chill vibes in combination with journaling as well. So you won't need anything, you won't need much today. You'll need a mat if you have one, some cushions or a bolster, and a notebook and a pen. So if you need to go grab those, go grab them now. And throughout practice, we'll be really slowing it down, tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system. We'll be holding poses for anywhere around 3 to 5 minutes. And throughout those 3 to 5 minutes, we'll also be journaling in our notebooks. And if you prefer to hold a pose for a little bit longer, you're welcome to hold that pose and journal at the end. I'll leave all of the prompts in the description below. So let's get started. If you would like to, maybe finding a cushion or a bolster, sitting it underneath your pelvis so that our hips are a little bit higher than the knees. Relax your hands onto your knees. Let's take one big shoulder roll, bringing the shoulders up to your ears, press them all the way back and down. Maybe you'd like to close down your eyes or soften the gaze. Just start to bring your awareness inward. And with every exhale, see if you can release anything that you're holding on to that's not serving you. Maybe that's some rushing thought patterns, maybe some nerves, some expectations, ego, whatever it is. Just see if you can let it go. Just allow yourself to arrive on your mat or wherever you are in your space for the next 30 minutes. And maybe you'd like to scan through your body, noticing how you are today. You don't need to make up a reason why you feel a certain way. Just simply observing, how are you? And take note of your physical body, your mental body, energy body. And let's just bring this awareness to your breath. Again, just noticing how fast or slow your breath might be, how deep or shallow, how tight or relaxed. Let's just take another 3 breaths here. Big inhales in through your nose. And a nice long exhale. In your own time, 2 more. And last one. Option to keep your eyes closed. Let's take our ear over to one shoulder so we're finding a nice neck release through the side of the neck. Just guide your breath into that sensation, into the stretch. With every exhale, see if you can release any tension you might be holding on to. Let's just take that chin down towards the ground, keeping your ear over to the side, and feel that stretch move to the back of your neck. Again, breathing into that sensation. And keeping the ear over to the side, we'll take our gaze up towards the sky. Feel the stretch move to the front of your neck. And when you're ready, just working through those 3 positions, maybe moving your head forward and back, up and down, maybe opening, closing your mouth. And maybe when you feel tension, you want to hold still and breathe through it. Maybe you prefer to move through it. Last 2 breaths here. And on your next exhale, let's take our ear all the way over to the other side. Feel that neck stretch right down the side of the neck. Again, holding still here with every exhale. See if you can release any tension. Maybe that's relaxing through your shoulders, your jaw, maybe your hands and fingers as well. And let's take that chin down towards the ground. And up towards the sky. And working your way through those 3 positions, maybe moving your head forward and back. Maybe opening, closing your mouth, releasing any tension. Let's take one more inhale here. And exhale to let your chin drop down towards your chest. Bring your hands to the back of your head. Just let the weight of your hands pull your chin down towards your chest, not adding too much pressure. You should feel a nice release through the back of the neck, the upper spine. Take one more inhale here. Exhale to release your hands behind your back. Puff out your chest. Lift your hands away from your bum. Maybe look up towards the sky if it feels nice, wiggling side to side. And on your next exhale, gently coming back to center. Let's find our way to child's pose. Option to use a couple of pillows or bolsters here if you would like to. Or maybe even putting a blanket or a cushion, a towel underneath your knees if you have sensitive knees. We'll come with our knees nice and wide. Slide those pillows or that bolster between your legs and gently lower down towards the ground. You can bring your cheek down to one pillow. Let your hips sink down towards your heels. And as you exhale, see if you can release into our child's pose here. If you're quite familiar with child's pose and you prefer not to use props at all, you're welcome to place them off to the side, walk the fingertips forward, and lower your forehead to the ground, or maybe you prefer one cheek down to the ground. And as we arrive in each yin pose today, we want to be pushing to a point of sensation but never pain. So around 70% of your range of motion is what they say. And as we hold this pose over time, our muscles will start to lengthen and release. And you might feel that release, that relaxation through the muscles as we make our way through the practice today. And as we find our way into each pose, we will find a little bit of silence, which can be intimidating, but I promise it gets easier with practice. And if you find your mind wandering to all different areas, if they don't serve you, just bring your awareness back to your breath. If you have one cheek on the bolster, gently changing sides, so bringing that other cheek down towards the ground. Staying exactly where you are, I'll give you our first journal prompt for the day today. And you can stay in this pose as long as you would like until you feel ready to write in your journal, or again, you're welcome to write in your journal after practice if you prefer. Our first prompt today is, where do I currently spend most of my time and energy? Where do I currently spend most of my time and energy? We have another 30 seconds to finish our first journal entry. You're always welcome to press pause if you find all these thoughts flowing. And if you're coming with me, just finishing up what you're writing, we'll come to our second pose, which is deer pose or pigeon pose. So for our deer pose, we'll sit on the right hip, bend both knees so that they're both at a 90-degree angle. We'll rotate towards the front of the mat or towards the right hip and gently lower your chest down towards the ground, maybe onto your pillows or your bolster, whatever you have. An option to stay on your elbows or option to find a nice comfortable lying position. For a little bit more, take your eye gaze over the opposite side. And if this feels all right and you want a little bit more sensation, let's pop back to a 4-point kneeling for our pigeon pose. Our right knee will come towards the right wrist and the toes will go over towards the left-hand side. And we'll gently walk the left leg away from us and we're looking for a nice stretch or sensation through the outside of the right hip. Again, we have the option to stay upright or option to lower down to the elbows or maybe down onto your chest. As you find your pose in deer or pigeon, just come back to your breath. See if you can tap into that stillness and that silence. With every exhale, see if you can relax through the physical body, relax through your shoulders, your glutes, maybe down towards your feet and toes. We have another 10 seconds on this side. When you feel ready, slowly bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll come straight into the other side. So we have our two options. We have deer pose or pigeon pose. For the deer pose, we're sitting on the left hip. Both knees are at a 90-90 angle. Rotate towards the left hip. And when you're ready, gently lowering down to your elbows, maybe onto your belly or onto a pillow. And again, option to find that rotation looking over the left shoulder. If you're coming into pigeon pose, we'll pop up to a 4-point kneeling. Our left knee will go towards the left wrist and toes will go towards the right, and then we walk that right leg backwards. Once you're ready, gently lowering down to the elbows, maybe onto your chest. And see if you can square your hips to the front to feel that nice stretch through the left glute or hip. Come back to your breath. We're here for another 15 seconds. Staying exactly where you are, I'll let you know our next journaling prompt for the day. Now, our next prompt is, where do I want to focus my time and energy? So our last one was, where do I currently focus my time and energy? And this next one is, where do I want to focus my time and energy? So when you're ready, grabbing your journal, where do I want to focus my time and energy? If you're wanting to dig a little bit deeper, maybe why? Where do you want to focus your time and energy, and why? We have another 45 seconds here. Last 10 seconds to wrap up what you're writing. Again, you're welcome to press pause if you need a little bit more time. And we'll slowly make our way into our next pose. Our next pose is a forward fold. So maybe you'd like to grab a cushion and place it underneath your hips, just to rise those hips up a little bit. And maybe you would like a second cushion in a moment. As we lean forward, I want you to think of tilting your pelvis forward like it's a bowl. So rather than doming out through the lower back, we think tilt the pelvis forward, and maybe this is as far as we come, and that is absolutely fine. If you need to bend your knees, go for it. Maybe you'd like to place a pillow or a bolster underneath those knees, just to feel a little bit more supported. Tip forward from the pelvis and gently reach towards maybe your knees, your ankles, or your feet. And if it feels all right in your body, maybe you let your head drop down. So you might be feeling some sensations through the backs of your legs, maybe into the lower back, maybe into the neck as well. And remembering that you don't need to come deep, we're pushing to that first sensation. As you start to feel yourself melt, maybe you go a little bit deeper. Staying exactly where you are for the moment. Our next journaling prompt is, what obstacles are standing in your way of doing this? So what obstacles are standing in the way of you spending more time and energy on the things you want to? And this can be yourself, it can be mental blocks, it can be people, it can be time, it can be anything that's standing in your way or might be an obstacle in order for you to spend your time and energy on the things you want. So when you're ready, finding your journal. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper on this one, what are some things that you can do to help remove or lessen these barriers in front of you? Are there any tools? Are there any support systems? Is there anything that you can do to make that a little bit more achievable in your life? We have another 20 seconds here. Just wrapping up what you're writing, we'll move on to our next pose, which is option to have your feet up a wall or more of a waterfall pose. So if you have access to a wall that you're happy to put your feet on, then wiggle your bum nice and close to that wall. If you don't have a wall, that's absolutely fine. We'll keep a pillow or a block or a bolster with us. We'll lay on the ground, lift the hips to the sky and place that cushion of some kind underneath your tailbone, so right underneath the pelvis. And when you're ready, just let your feet float up to the sky. So we're letting go of all tension through the feet. Our feet carry us around all day, every day. So we're just giving them a moment to drain. And you should be able to find a point of balance where your feet can hang out with ease. And maybe you prefer to keep your hands on your belly or maybe bringing them out wide. Maybe you'd like to close down the eyes, or if you choose to keep them open, just keep your eye gaze or your drishti on one thing. So maybe that's your legs, maybe it's your toes. Just try to keep that awareness inward. And our last journal prompt for our yin class today is, what's one habit you'd like to create over the next 3 weeks and why? What's one habit you would like to create over the next 3 weeks and why? When you're ready, slowly coming out of your pose, just taking your journal and writing down that one habit you'd like to implement in your life over the next 3 weeks and why. Once you've finished with your journal entry, take a little bit longer if you need. We'll find our way to our final resting pose, Shavasana. Maybe you'd like to place a pillow underneath your knees, gently lying down on your mat or on the ground on your bed, wherever you are. Let your arms and legs go out wide. Gently closing down the eyes or softening the gaze. Again, bringing that awareness inward. Taking these last couple of minutes for you. Maybe you'd like to reflect on some of those journal entries we just made. Maybe you'd like to expand on them once we finish our class here today. Just noticing how you feel now versus how you felt when you first stepped onto your mat. And maybe taking this moment to set an intention for yourself for the week to come. Shavasana. You're welcome to hang out here for a little bit longer. If you're ready to get back to it, starting to deepen your breath. Maybe starting to wiggle fingers, toes, and in your own time, making these movements a little bit bigger. Maybe you'd like to find a full body stretch, or hugging the knees into your chest, rolling over to your favorite side. And over the next 3 breaths, we'll make our way up to a seated position. We'll meet with our eyes closed or gaze softened. Bring your hands to your heart space. Allow your head to bow to your fingertips. Thank you so much for choosing to move with me and spend the next 21 days with me. Always moving your bodies intuitively and of course honoring this ancient practice of yoga. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And if this is your first experience of yin, welcome. I know sometimes it can be really difficult to find stillness, especially when we live such busy, crazy lifestyles. So congratulations on making it through your first yin session. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time on the mat.